All right, welcome to this live. We're going to talk about enjoying the moment. And I'm enjoying my moment of having my nice camera not working and having to adjust my computer here. So, how does it get any better than that? Okay. When I was, I have, it's been a long time since I've gone live here in the Neon Sheep Lounge Facebook group. You also might be watching this from my business page or on my YouTube channel. But thank you guys for being here. Um, I have been looking at a topic of enjoying everything, like having pleasure in every moment. And so I wanted to have a quick little chat about how do we enjoy the moment and be present and have pleasure and joy with our lives, even when we have to do all the stuff on our to-do list. What is that about? So most people, I think the best analogy for this is, imagine if you've ever been on a road trip. If you haven't been on a road trip, imagine that. Or it could just be in your city where all you're thinking about is getting there, right? And when you do that, you don't enjoy the ride. So say you have a cross country trip and you're like, we just need to get from New York to California, and you don't stop anywhere along the way. So many of us in our lives are trying to get somewhere. And if that's your target, like the getting somewhere, and whether that's the relationship you desire or a certain amount of money or somewhere with your body, when we get so focused on that's where I'm going, we don't enjoy the adventure of being present and being alive. And why would we be here if we're not here to enjoy being here and enjoying the moment? So when we do that, when we are looking at just the destination and getting there, we lose, like we eliminate the ability to have joy and pleasure in the moment. So let's talk about some ways to start having it. Because trust me, like I'm a busy mom of two. I've got school pickups and laundry and dishes like many people do. I've got a job working with Access Consciousness, the company. I have my own wonderful business that's shifted and changed and grown in different ways. So a wonderful dog. I got a lot going on. How do you actually like love living? Okay, here's a really simple question that you might have heard. I talk a lot. I'm a certified access consciousness facilitator. So I talk about those tools, a lot of which are questions. And one of the questions, like imagine our road trip analogy again. Instead of going, okay, I've set my destination, that's where I want to go. What if you ask questions like, oh, I wonder what we're going to get to today. I wonder what we're going to explore on day one of the road trip, right? What if every every moment was day one of your living? Oh, I think Ace found a squirrel. Hold on a second. Go for it. This always happens during live videos. He finds squirrels and things outside. Okay. So asking the question, what adventures will I have today? Or what grand and glorious adventures will I have today? Really simple question. And hi, everybody. Thanks for being live. Um, really simple question. But guess what that does? It actually puts you into the present moment of living your life and the adventure of it. And not what we tend to do if we're always looking to, I just want to get there. We're looking to a future possibility that usually we've made impossible or somewhere so distant that we don't actually think it's going to show up. And we often then don't take the actions required for that to show up. So that's a really great question. Like, what adventures will I have today? What grand and glorious adventures will I have today? Also, who am I today? We have presumed so many things about us, like who we are, that we're this type of person, or we can only create in this way, or we only work well with this sort of person or in this job. I only can get to California from New York by driving in this sort of car. What if there are infinite possibilities and you have access to being any energy? Any energy, and everything is available. That starts to switch us into more of the present moment. Blah, I have having a thing today with speaking. I've been doing videos and lives and I keep like not being able to use the word. So how does it get better than that? So with that, so question like, who am I? What adventures will I have today? Takes you into the present adventure of your life and enjoying it so you don't miss stuff along the way. Imagine if you drove all that way across the entire United States and you didn't stop. You'd miss like so many beautiful things. One of the things I did when I used to not know what I wanted to do with my life and would waitress or bartend and save up a bunch of money and then travel. After I had done a lot of international travel, I kept meeting people who had seen more of the United States than me. They're like, "Have you been to Yosemite National Park? Have you been to the hot springs outside of Yellowstone?" And I was like, "No, I haven't done this yet." So I went on a road trip across the entire United States to all of the national parks. I did that after I worked. I used to teach English in Japan for a year. So I used that trip and those savings to go on a road trip. And had I just gone, oh, I just want to make it out to Yosemite, I would have missed so many beautiful things along the way. And that's what we do. Even though our intention is like, hey, this is something I really want, there's sort of a secret formula. It's not really secret, it's just not common. That's what we're taught to do. And then we miss the joy of everything. So instead, what if you had a different way of creating? So there are two different sorts of people in the world. And some of them create from a lot of force and effort and judgment of like, this didn't work. So I'm going to try this and judge myself and try to force and effort and control everything. Um, I tend to do that. It's easier, we think, in our heads, like, I'll just push it uphill or use force to create it. But what if that's not actually your natural way of creating, which is what I've discovered? So that might be what you're used to. There's actually other people in the world. And I want to say, if you're on this listening, that is you. That what if you actually create by making a request, by asking for something to show up, and then allowing yourself to receive it? And it didn't involve force or effort. And here's the thing, it also can't be linear creation. So asking, requesting something, and allowing it to show up. What if that's actually how magical you are? And it's very different from other people, and it's very much not seen here. But what if you could do that? And here's the thing. You guys can see the little banner on the bottom. I've been looking a lot at when we add pleasure and joy to what we're asking for and in our daily lives, how that creates those things showing up with more ease, with more magic. And one of the keys to that is, okay, so you've asked for something. Now get the sense or the feeling of what that would be like. So I'm going to keep using our analogy of the road trip. So you're headed across the United States and your end point is California, which is beautiful. Like, you're really excited about that. But now, actually, which places would you like, that you've heard about, would you like to stop along the way? Right. And maybe it's like the Black Hills in North Dakota, the grasslands, or, uh, the river somewhere, or the mountains. Like, I love Montana. So you have these places that you want to stop. Actually, for a moment, put yourself there and take advantage of all the wonderful senses you have. Your sense of smell. What would you be smelling there if you were up in the mountains? And allow your body to tap into that and you to sense that. What would you be seeing? Get the visuals. If you love, like, you're a very visual person, what would that look like? Google it if you don't know. There's a place you've heard about and it's somewhere you'd like to go. Google it. Put those images in your mind and your world. What would it smell like? What would it feel like? What's the air like there? Is it moist? Is it humid? Is it dry? Is it sunny? Like, actually get the pleasure of what it would be like to be there, to have that. So I'm just using a road trip example. So I'm using like geographical destinations, but maybe there's something really wonderful, like you'd love to have ease with money. So get the sense of and feel what it'd be like to open up your computer and check your bank accounts and have like your favorite music playing, a really good glass of wine or a cup of tea, whatever you like, and the sense of total ease of, hey, I know I've asked for more money to show up. I know it's coming. And then what are the infinite possibilities for that? That's actually how we create. So you'll notice in that question, here's a key part of asking. So one is getting the sense of it and letting your body and you experience the pleasure of what that would be like to really have it in your world, whatever it is. And then, rather than efforting or forcing yourself there, asking a really undefined question. And that truly can be as simple as, I wonder what that would take to show up. I wonder. And then from this place of gratitude, asking, dear universe, please, thank you. Knowing it's coming. This is about like knowing when you ask for something that's actually the way you create. Knowing it's going to show up. Doubt is one of the things that will stop our ask faster than anything else. We go, it didn't show up. Or trying to figure out how it's going to show up by asking or your ask is really specific. Like, I need a new car, but I want one that's brand new, or it's, over this year, or doesn't have this. Instead, what's the energy of what you're asking for, and how would it be to have that, or how would it feel in your body to be experiencing it? And then ask a really open-ended question. Like, you get to collaborate with the universe. You don't have to fight against it. So it's like, okay, that would be so cool. That would be awesome. I get the sense of it. Now, what would it take for that to show up? What are the infinite possibilities? And then enjoy the journey. Like, we're talking about the road trip. So rather than judging yourself that it's not showing up, or judging the universe that ask and receive doesn't work because you've asked and nothing is showing up yet, what if you could allow yourself to receive from the universe and not have to control it, and not have to effort it or force it, but know it's showing up and not doubt it and not doubt you? And if you go to doubt or you go to judgment, stop. Realize that's a wonderful way to stop yourself. And what I do is I pod myself, which is using the Access Consciousness clearing statement. Like, okay, everything that is, everywhere I'm using doubt as a distractor implant, everywhere I'm judging myself, which I know doesn't create anything, I destroy and uncreate it. So would you destroy and uncreate everywhere you've been doubting yourself, everywhere you've been judging yourself for what you've asked for that hasn't shown up yet? Everything that is times a godzillion, would you destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. That's the Access Clearing Statement. You guys can find out more about it at theclearingstatement.com if it's new to you. But that's when we start to play with these really open-ended questions, like undefining what we're asking for, making sort of a simple request, not doubting ourselves, not judging ourselves. That's where this different way of being and creating your life comes from. That doesn't have to be the control, the force, the effort. I know that one well. And you can actually create quite a lot from that space. But guess what? It's missing out on a lot of the magic. And it's also missing out on the daily, like, enjoying the moment and the joy of being alive. So I just wanted to invite you to that possibility that there's something else. And I've been like devouring like new resources and books and ideas, and reading past things and new books, and all the tools I have available. And I'm having a 1-part like short class tomorrow. It's probably, I'm guessing, going to be 2 hours-ish, 2.5, on the topic here, energy shopping, the power of playfulness and pleasure. And it's really going to be a lot about this. How do we start to use what we know and have fun using tools, questions to start bringing here what we're asking for, but having a lot of fun while we're doing it, not just sending an endpoint of this is where I want to go, and my only choices are things that I control or I can think with my mind. There's so much more available. So if you'd like to join me, it's online, so anybody can join. I'm going to put the link up there. It's energyshoppingwithemily.com/play. It's a great time for US, Central South America, and Europe, as it's at my noon. But I'd love to see you guys there. And if I don't see you there, I'm glad to see you again. I took a time off I was doing lives every week, which was really fun for a while. And then I was like, my schedule is crazy. I want to do it when I'm really excited about something. So these might be coming more often, because there's so many topics floating around my world. And one of my favorite things to do is to jump on a live or a video and like share some tools, see you guys commenting, asking questions. So consider yourself cordially invited till tomorrow's class. You can check it out. If not, I hope to see you somewhere online in person soon. If not, in social media. Social media is wonderful, but I love to see people in bodies. That's awesome. Or, the next best thing is in a Zoom box, because we can chat. But thank you guys. And if you'd like to explore more, you're invited. And if not, just play with that thing, like of those couple questions. Who am I today? What adventures am I going to have? And yeah, you can have an ask of where you're going to, but open up that ask, undefine it, get the sense in your body and your being what it would be like to have it, and stop the judgment and the doubt, so that the universe can actually gift to you. it might have greater things in store for you than you could figure out or control or force into existence. That's probably not a might. It's what I've seen over and over again. But trust me, I've done the other thing as well. So thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your day or evening, and thank you for being here. Bye bye.